Hey all, just doing another video again. There's loads of people playing, and a lot of people asking how to stream and all that sort of stuff. So I'm just making a little video for that, just to help out. Basically, this is OBS. This is what you need to stream. There are other platforms available, but I only really know OBS. When you open it, you'll see this rather than what I've done, because I don't want you looking at the Twilight Zone, which is enough to make anybody sick. I pushed that right up there. First things first, you make a scene on the left hand side here. Just add, let's call a scene, call it webcam darts or whatever you want, and then you go to sources, you add, and you add a source, and then you'll add display capture. Now if you've got more than one monitor, you'll go up there and you just right click and you go properties, and then you can choose which monitor to display. Okay, perfect. Now you also need to go to the internet, go to Google and Google speed test, run a speed test, and then you need to see what your upload is. That's the important one, because basically you're gonna want like 2 to 3 meg up spare for using webcam darts and calling and all that sort of crap. So like if you've got anything up to the maximum I've ever streamed is 8. You don't need to go any higher than that. Anything from 5 to 8 is reasonably acceptable. You can do that, but just make sure you've always got a 3 overhead. So in instance, if you want to stream at 8 meg, make sure you got at least 11 upload. It's 8. If you want to see at 8,000, make sure you got at least 11 upload. Right now into the settings. Oh, actually, the audio first. See the audio? I can see the microphone going up and down. Just give that a quick test. Make sure it's working. Desktop audio. Put a YouTube video on the background. Make sure that's going up and down. And that's perfect. Settings. Right. Now, this is where you go. You go to stream and you choose which one of all of the providers you're going to do. And then you need to go through the connect account and use the stream key. You need to do all that sort of stuff. That's all on your end. I can't remember how to do it off the top of my head because it was done ages ago. But if you Google that a little bit, it's easy enough anyway. It's a piss easy, anybody can do it. Output, this is where we start going into the meat of it all. You've got two different encoders on every single laptop PC. Encoder X264, that's basically using your CPU, the main chip. Now there's NVENC, and there's also a different one as well, which I can't remember the name of because I don't have it. But they're your graphics cards. So if you've got an NVIDIA graphics card, NVENC, whatever it is, that'll use your graphics card to encode and to render it. And if you've got the other name, that'll be using your ATI graphics card. Now if you've got a half-tidy graphics card, it's doing nothing else while you're playing webcam darts. Absolutely nothing apart from rendering a bloody monitor. It's not doing anything at all. So you might as well use that, okay? If it's good. On the other hand, if you've got a good, a decent, I'll say not decent. I think my other, I got a 980 graphics card in my stream PC. That's what I use to stream. But yeah, anyway. So okay, now you go down here. Then you go to rate control CBR, which basically that means your bit rate controlled. Okay, so see this one's doing 5,000 up, but I'll change that to 8,000 up. That means I need to have at least 11 meg up, right? That's your internet. That's the speed you're actually going to be throwing it down the pipe at the internet. The next one now, this preset. If you're having render issues and like your CPU can't cope, you can see down your CPU 20%. If that's spiking and you're having issues, you can always turn this up. But you need to go faster, right? You go. If you want to make the computer, the CPU do less work, you need to go up the scale. It makes the render quality a little bit worse, but it just stops it, spazzing out with frames and dropping frames and looking really choppy and crappy. So just remember, up is less, down is more. I don't know why that is. It just spins me out, that is. I don't know, it's horrible. Anyway, right, in audio, this is where you select your audio devices as well, just in case. What do you mean not connected? Stop being stupid. But yeah, and then we go down. I don't need to worry about that. Don't need to worry about that. Hotkeys don't need to worry about. Right, the video as well. This is one other thing you can do to make it less taxing on both your internet and the computer. Your base canvas resolution is 1080p. Unless you've got a bigger monitor, it could be 1440p. But regardless, that's what it is. Your base output is like your base, and then the output, then the scaled one. You can scale it down. Like when I actually stream, this is not my stream PC. This is my main PC, but you can knock it down to 720p. That's how I always stream at 720p. It will make a blind bit of difference to a lot of people, unless people are watching you on like 4K televisions and stuff like that. Because like you're a 1080p monitor, and your video only takes up like a small part there anyway. Because like underneath the stuff on the side, there's like chat or there's banners for other videos. So 720p is normally pretty good. It's not too bad on a 1080p monitor full screen either. So that's all I would do for that. Try and keep your FPS value at 60. It makes a huge difference. You do notice after a while the difference between a 30 FPS and 60. 60 is so much smoother. But that's that. Okay, now when you first start doing it and all, and you're trying to see if it's running okay and all that sort of stuff, go to View and then click Stats. Now these stats are where where OBS will tell you if it's having issues. Your CPU usage. If that's ever spiking, you obviously need to turn the CPU down, like I said, or go to graphics card rendering, one of the two. And then these are the ones where due to rendering lag. If it's missing due to rendering lag, it means it can't cope with the stress you're putting it under. And same with encoding as well. Basically, if these are ever turned red or they've got way too many skipped frames, then it can't cope with what you're asking it to do, so you need to adjust it and turn some things down. Aside from that, that is everything you need, I think. But yeah, keep this open and keep an eye on it, and then you'll know then if everything's alright or if it's not. And that's that. Have a good one. Bye bye.